Hello everyone, it's Adam here. In today's video, we are going to be installing the ROX risers from ROX Speed FX. I did not pay full price for these because they had a blemished set on their website, so yay me. On my previous R1250GS Adventure, I had the 2-inch adjustable risers, but they had the anti-vibration feature right here, these little rubber things. Great for touring, but if you do any hard off-roading, these offer less control. As you can see here, well, maybe not. Let's see if I can hold this wheel straight. You can see a little bit that flex. Basically, the flex in these is because it's rubber mounted. And when you're climbing a hill or something and you're really holding on your handlebars pretty tight, or doing technical terrain, this rubber is a little bit of play and your steering is less direct. And so for this bike, we are going to be running the ROX risers that are still a 2-inch. They're still adjustable, but they are not anti-vibe. And so we're going to start off by unscrewing these 4 T40s and put a towel down here because you're going to want to lay your stuff across the tank here and you don't want to scratch your tank up. Let's get started. We have our towel down. Instructions start with actually rerouting the cables. So remove the plastic cap, 14mm socket, drop that down, and then move the cables back and re-zip tie them to the new location. You'll do that before you install the risers. So you'll see here, these cables currently go down and then inside of the fork tubes. You're moving them outside of the fork tubes. No big deal. As you can see on the other bike, how that's routed outside. It's been that way for 33,000 miles and there are no issues having those outside of the fork tubes. All right, so we've held down here, 14mm up top, drop this down and then move that out. Now we have to undo the zip tie that's right there. So this moves out freely, and then I'll show you the next step, which I believe is gonna be hooking it somewhere in here, but I'll get there in a second. Now you see we have zip tied to here. This is the little tic-tac icon there. It's not too tight, by the way, but you can see now how that moves outside of the fork. And I'll tie this down, and then we'll go to the other side. Pretty much the same thing. So these are zip tied. You can't see it right there. We're going to zip tie them to where that little zip tie there is, dead center of the frame, right there. And I'll move them out of the way, but they are out this way already. This is already tightened back up. ROX does not give torque specs, so I'm doing resistance plus a half turn. Who knows? And good luck. And rerouting is done. You can see how that's zip tied there. Everything is nice and clean. Yeah, it looks a little dumb, but this is about to go 2 inches higher, which will take all the slack out of these. Nice and clean. Okay, 4 bolts are out. Towel goes down because it slid right down into the towel as it should. Move these to the side and move these to the side. Now we're going to keep note 2 where these are lined up. So this is lined up to that right angle and this is lined up to that right angle. That's where you want it to be on the inside of those mounts. You're going to take this handlebar and you're going to take it out of the seat. Gently, right there, just lay it down like that. Then you're going to take these are going to point outwards like that. And you're going to use the factory bolts to put these back into place. Pick a nice angle that you want. Use those OEM triple clamps initially because these are going to go on, Use the ROX riser billet pieces on the lower section here, like this, with the circle things in place. And then use the OEMs for the top where the handlebar goes over. My game plan here, by the way, so you use the ROX Speed bolts and caps for this. My game plan has always been to tighten the ones that are forward first and leave the ones in the back pretty loose. So you still have some like slight resistance movement, but not totally loose. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna then angle these forward and tighten the back ones up all the way down, then you're good. So tighten these down lightly, more on the back, then place this here, and we're just gonna grab the OEM stuff. Remember, no Loctite here. In previous videos I've made, I put Loctite on everything. These don't need Loctite. These are not, these kind of compress, and torque, I want to say is like, 15 or something. It's Newton meters. We're really not doing heavy torque here on handlebars, so don't crank the shit out of it. So for finishing up the riser install, I want to show you how to align the handlebars. So if you look behind here, you can see those lines. See that vertical line right here? That one there? That vertical line is where it should be on the inside of the metal piece. You'll see you can't see it at all there. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna shimmy this towards me until that vertical line is right flush with the metal. That's how you'll know you're dead center. All right, risers are installed. So you'll see here this clearance is there. You want to make sure everything is catching. So you want to move this up a little bit, this little thing there. You may want to zip tie in there. I don't know, whatever you feel is good for your usage that you're not going to mess it up. Same with the other side. Give it a look. Definitely make sure that you do a full lock turn and that your mirrors don't hit the windscreen. That means you probably have your riser angled up too high, and then do a full lock turn on the other side. Same thing, no mirror hit. Everything looks clean, nothing binds. This is a safety feature. You know, brake and clutch cables are pretty important. You don't want any binding when you're doing full lock turns. And so just give that a full look down, really get in there with a flashlight and make sure it's all clean. If it looks good to you, then you can ship it. And stand up on the pegs, make sure everything fits nicely. You wanna make sure that you have that line up in the back there. So there's your line. Your line is right, it's underneath the metal, the other line. You can't really see it, but it's right underneath there. You can see it. Right underneath the metal there. You're not going to get it on the metal unless you tweak these. Let's take a second here, talk through this. So these, as you can see, protrude a little bit on each side. You can move this piece in and out of the upper triple tree clamps in order to get the right width on the handlebars. You want to go as wide as possible until you get to the bend, because the wider you go, the more force you have to balance the clamping force evenly across more of the handlebar surface area. If you go super narrow, like bringing these all the way in, then you're not going to be able to see those vertical lines, but you're also going to be closer up. So you're not going to bend your bars, but sure, someone that's an engineer can tell me what the science is to that. But I put them as wide as possible so I can see those little lines, and then I clamp it down. So you'll see I have a little bit on each side. It's still a little protruding inward. That's fine. It's a good connection. Really tug on it hard, and if you're happy with it, ship it. Enjoy it. Thanks for watching, everyone, and thanks Rocks Risers for having these blemish sales. That was nice. I think I spent $88 instead of $150. So super happy with that, and just me torquing on it, I've already blemished it more. So come on, why not save us some money? All right, everyone, take care. Ride safe.